Fake news is everywhere is but a cliche way of putting things into perspective, don't you think? The name implies its meaning, but what really is fake news? According to Baptista JP and Gradin A, 2022 March 21, fake news is an intentionally produced form of online disinformation used to manipulate and deceive the public by disseminating false and misleading statements that may or may not be connected to actual events. In contrast, it is a news story with an opportunistic structure to grab readers' attention and increase clicks and shares, which will help it spread. Here, we'll delve deeper into that and look at fake news in the context of the Philippines. Something most Filipinos aren't surprised about is the proliferation of fake news. In the following parts of this podcast, our group will tackle how anyone can create and spread false news in the internet. Social media's growing appeal can impact the public's perceptions, interests, and choices and how they engage with a factual statement. With all that said, today's podcast by a group Spartans will focus on two salient points pertaining to fake news. The dominance of social media and the internet plays a crucial role in the rise of fake news in the country, and the definition of media literacy and how necessary it is to have this certain skill.
The term fake news have been controversial and problematic in the country for years. Different platforms like social media have a significant impact on the information and issues people learn about, including elections, politics, lifestyle, etc. Though this online platform gives people convenience in receiving information, the problem is that these social media platforms do not verify or check if the information is factual. Facebook is one of the biggest venues that is used to spread false information and affect public opinion. While Facebook offers accessible media sources, it does not give its users access to websites that conduct fact-checking. According to Statista 2021, 96.2% of internet users in the country use Facebook. Social media does not only influence the youths who are digitally literate, but also other generations. Around 48% of adult Filipinos get information on the internet about politics, and 44% use Facebook. The problem of fake news seems to be more crucial than before. If it is not properly addressed, dissemination of misinformation will persist to deceive people by incorporating constructed falsehoods with facts. Moreover, proper measures should be executed to administer people and users determine the validity and probity of the knowledge delivered to them.
In recent years, fake news has been one of the most controversial issues in local cyberspace, particularly in terms of media and journalism. Actually, just in the recent May 2022 national elections, the volume of fake news across different social media platforms has been massive. Walker in 2022 mentioned that the Philippines is now termed by many analysts as patient zero, which means that our country is now a primary carrier of fake news. Furthermore, Retona in 2021 of the Vera Files actually discussed that current President Bongbong Marcos has been the biggest winner of this propaganda, with 52 of the 120 reviewed online posts being pro-Marcos disinformation. On the contrary, former Vice President Leni Robredo has been the favorite target of trolls, which tries to make it appear that Robredo is incapable of being the nation's leader. And from the results of the elections, we have seen how fake news can shape the people's perspectives and dictate the country's fate. All of this prompt the argument that if we will not take action in putting an end to this problem of fake news, our country's future might be in danger. The first basis for this is that the media will be a zone of fake news. Sooner or later, it can be filled with historical distortion, biased reporting, and unfactual claims. This is why Balod and Hamillers in 2019 mentioned that it is now up to the journalists to strengthen their roles and defend themselves from accusations of spreading fake news. Consequently, fake news will kill the critical thinking of Filipinos. Once the minds of the people are corrupted by disinformation and misinformation, the nation's future will be at peril. This leads to the challenge of saving the future of our country. The government, the media, and the people must work together in prohibiting the spread of fake news and achieving a media literate nation.
Now, let's define what literacy is and how this skill is necessary before we click to our peers on the internet. According to Potter in 2019, media literacy can be defined as the ability of us people to access, analyze, discern, and create media in various ways. This is an essential skill in which we self-assess ourselves that everything we are sharing or creating in any form of media hold the principle that this is legitimate. According to social weather stations, 51% of adult Filipinos find it hard to discern what is fake news from not. How does this necessarily affect us? It's because mass media and social media plays the biggest role in how we attain information from what is happening to the country. If half of the country does not know how to discern what is real from what is fake, then the propagation of fake news can be stemmed to how many Filipinos are media illiterate. If we keep sharing and believing the things we see in media without fact checking anything, this will create a society of individuals that is heavily poisoned by misinformation and disinformation. Therefore, fact checking the information we see online is a huge skill that we need to foster. According to Mason, media literacy should be a central part of the education system. If everyone is better at self assessing whatever we share on the internet, the population would be better at assessing the next set of leaders that affects the overall decision of the country.
Media literacy education is the answer to this issue. This is crucial talent that allows us to evaluate our own work and determine whether or not it adheres to the notion that what we are sharing or making is legitimate. In the absence of reliable third parties in this regard, individuals must take responsibility for their safety by maintaining a high level of vigilance and self reliance. Consequently, educating the masses to critically evaluate media should be made a priority. If people were better able to critically assess the information they find online, society as a whole would be better equipped to make educated decisions in the future.